Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Daily Football Zone. It's been a minute, but we got the crew with us tonight. We got our first mock draft of the year. It happens to be a day before the draft, but one mock draft is better than none. We all been busy, so don't blame us. I'm here with my boy X and my boy Jake. How y'all doing today?
I'm all right, man.
I'm sweet, man. I'm sweet.
Yeah, man. We're recording this a little after 5 Pacific time. So we're less than 24 hours away from the actual draft. So it's a good time that we should get at least one mock out there. I put out a couple of my own. I had Name come on and join me for one as well. But I wanted the official, we're not going live, and that's all good. We'll plan on doing maybe we can go live for draft reactions or grades or however we want to do it. But for now, we're recording a pre-recorded video, so y'all be able to see this on YouTube. I'm probably gonna upload it tonight or upload it tomorrow morning. It's gonna be up before the draft for sure, but we'll see how long it takes to get this done. But yeah, we're doing one round tonight. Our only mock draft. Do we agree we're doing trades, right, or no?
No trades.
I mean, I'm cool with it. I mean, I think we should because it's gonna happen. So.
Okay, we can do trades.
All right, X. If you don't want to do trades on your picks, you don't have to. But
All right.
trades do make it fun. It is what it is, but we can do that. I'll pop up the little PFF mock draft simulator. I need to take this banner off though real quick before we start. We agreed. I'm going first. X second. Jake, you're third. Sounds like a good order.
Yep, that's the plan.
Okay, cool. So if everyone that's gonna tune into this video, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment. Let us know how y'all feel about our choices. We'll go over briefly about why we made our choice and all that good stuff. So yeah, feel free to leave a comment. Maybe let us know what you would do or if you like our picks. Also, subscribe to the channel and share the video as well. That goes a long way. It helps us grow as a channel as well. And the more the merrier. More people in the comments, the more entertaining, more conversation y'all can have when it comes to football, which is I would say the America's sport in my opinion. So y'all ready? Y'all ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Again, it's less than 24 hours away. I'm stoked. Again, my Panthers only got one pick between today and then no picks Friday. Not today. One pick tomorrow, no picks on Friday, and then we don't pick again till I think it's like 137 on Saturday. 137 overall.
A long wait.
Something like that. Yeah. So, I'm hoping. Me personally, we trade back, but we'll get into that as the draft as we do our mock draft. We'll bring it up. But I'll start off. I'm picking for the Jacksonville Jaguars, and that's a good one because. Again, is it going to be Aiden Hutchinson or is it going to be Trayvon Walker? What do you guys think?
I think it should be Aiden Hutchinson, but I have a feeling that the Jaguars are the type of team that would make the Trayvon Walker pick. Even though I don't really even think the Jaguars are the type of organization that have the foresight to even develop Trayvon Walker, but I just have a feeling that'll be the pick in the end.
How about you, X? I mean, not X. How about you, Jake?
I think it should be Hutchinson. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Trayvon Walker would be worthy of the number 1 overall pick. That was the word I was trying to find. There's still the tackle conversation with Doug Peterson because that's probably what he would want. But they just re-signed Cam Robinson to an extension, so I think that's off the table. And I think they're gonna go Hutchinson. If I have to if there's a gun to my head, I have to guess who it is. I would pick Aiden Hutchinson. That's what I would go with.
Yeah, it's and this is one of those crazy drafts that it's been in the in the convos lately on when it comes to Twitter and all that. It's really unpredictable. Who knows when a quarterback's going to get selected? Who knows who's going to be the first receiver and when? Again, you don't even know who's going to be the first overall. It seems like usually when it comes down to draft day, you usually kind of get a feeling, a gut feeling, you're say 95% sure who's going to be the first overall pick. And obviously last year you're 100% confident it was going to be Trevor Lawrence. But you kind of get a feeling who's going to be the first overall pick. And this year you got two options, and it's but it's like who is a 50-50 chance? Like who is it gonna be, Hutchinson or Walker? With the Robinson,
fine.
yeah, with Robinson getting signed, I'm taking an offensive tackle off out of it. I feel like it's gonna be a edge rusher, obviously. So, I'm gonna roll with Aiden Hutchinson. I was kind of rolling back to Trayvon Walker recently with my recent mock drafts, but as of now I think about it, as I look more into Trayvon Walker, me personally, I don't think he's worth the first overall pick in my opinion. The upside could be there, the potential could be there. He has the skill, but I feel like Aiden Hutchinson's more pro ready, more ready to make an impact to that Jaguars defense with Josh Allen on the other side, getting to the quarterback. So I'll roll with Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, so for this next pick for the Detroit Lions that I'm going to select, I was actually really hoping that you would take Trayvon Walker because I feel like the Aiden Hutchinson to the Lions pick would actually make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
And especially considering he's a
No, Ann
Yeah,
Arbor's
he's
not
a
that far from
guy.
Detroit.
I feel like
he's a hometown
Dan Campbell
hero.
type player too.
Definitely. Although I will finalize my selection right now, I will be taking Trayvon Walker with that pick. I really do think the Lions are a type of team that, they're not really interested in being like too competitive right now. Obviously, like they'll wait like for their window to come. So right now they're just focusing on drafting and stuff. And I feel like they can be patient with Trayvon Walker's development, definitely, because he's a much more raw player than Hutchinson is, and even he's more raw than Kayvon Thibodeau is. So I think not Aiden Hutchinson, but Trayvon Walker is the pick for the Lions.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
I can see that. Also, the thing about Trayvon Walker with Jaguars, I think Balky was a part of the 49ers front office, I believe, when they drafted Alden Smith in
Yep.
2011. So, he was I guess you could say he had obviously Alden Smith had the upside before all the off the field issues, but he was kind of a raw prospect when you had players like J.J. Watt go 11th overall, and you had Cameron Jordan in the same round, but Alden Smith was the first edge rusher out of those three. So, and I mean, he put up like 40 sacks in his first 2 years. So I mean, obviously, he was looking like he could be a stud on that 49ers defense for years to come until he had the off-field issues. So, I could see them going off Walker's upside and him being a raw prospect that they can, bring in, and you pair him with Josh Allen. Of course, that could be a deadly pass rush right there. But I rolled with Aiden Hutchinson though. But Trayvon Walker, I could see him going second too. If Aiden Hutchinson's first, obviously Walker could be second, and the Lions do need a edge rush. So not a bad choice, obviously. So we're on the third overall pick though. Jake, you got the Houston Texans. It seems like they're probably gonna stay at that spot. Who you got Houston picking?
Well, I was really hoping that Trayvon Walker would fall number 3 because he's my favorite player in the whole entire draft. Period.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he is, and he's my number 1 edge. I love him. I know there's a hair of projection. I get that. And Hudson, like I said, he's the number 1 overall pick. He's worthy of it. He's ready to go right now. There isn't that projection like there was with Walker, but for me, I think there's enough there to not worry, and I would bank on the upside. I would take the chance on it. So we have Hutch number 1, Walker number 2. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Who does Houston go 3?
Houston, there's talks of corner. There's reports of them meeting multiple times with Stingley and Gardner. I don't see it. I think knowing Nick Caserio coming from New England, they want their big guys on the line. And I know there's Evan Neal. He's my favorite tackle. But I feel like Icky is going to be their pick.
Ike McQuanu. So you're on
Yeah.
roll with Ike? Okay.
Yep, I do. You can play guard. You can play tackle. Either side. You still got Lerman Tunsil there. So he could play either right tackle or guard in the meantime. Or they could flip Lerman Tunsil over. Who knows? I think Tunsil's more of a pure left tackle, though. And then Icky's the guy that you can shuffle around and feel more comfortable with it. I think knowing the Texans, knowing their situation, and knowing how their front office thinks, from what I know, I think they would go Icky. And I feel confident. I feel confident that would be their selection here at number 3.
Yeah, if they're rolling with Davis Mills, the best thing you could do for a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, is get him protection. So you do pair him with Laramie Tunsil on at tackles. It does help for sure, and he's also, Ikwanu's great at run blocking as well. So if they decide maybe they want to go running back in the second round, it could possibly be like a Kenneth Walker there. Even Brees Hall could still possibly be there. You really don't know, but I feel like locking down a solid offensive lineman is what they need to help that offense. And yeah, again, Davis Mills going into his second year. He didn't have a bad rookie year. He was actually, I would say, the second best rookie quarterback of last year behind Mac Jones. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do at 3, because they can go offensive tackle, they can go edge as well. They again, like the PFF, their needs is every position, so they can go any route really. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Oh yeah, it does say that.
You have any input on this third pick, X, or you ready to roll on?
Yeah, honestly, my only thought is that the Texans they have the luxury of going best player available, so I feel like whoever they pick will end up being just whoever the best player on their board is at that spot.
Yeah, with that, obviously we need a lot of positions. The BPA is what you're gonna do.
Well, it says every position.
Yeah, you're gonna get the best option that's available on the board. So
just respecting Davis Mills like that.
But now we can go with the 4th overall pick. This is the New York Jets' first selection in the first round, as they do have the 10th overall pick as well. With this pick, they can go a lot of options. They can use, again, their needs are receiver, linebacker, cornerback. They can also use I'd say even an edge rusher too. I know Robert Saleh would love another edge rusher, and Ahmad Garner has been my favorite for me personally going forward to New York, but something about me makes it think like I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna change it up. I think Kayvon Thibodeau is gonna go forth to the New York Jets. Earl Kayvon, I feel like he's the type of guy Robert Saleh would love to have. Getting to the quarterback. You pair him with Franklin Myers and Carl Lawson, right? Carl Lawson's the other edge rusher. It's always good to have multiple edge rushers. As either players get hurt or get tired, you can always throw one in. Different packages as well. I feel like Kayvon's the type of guy that would perform well under a Robert Saleh defense.
So I'm not sure if you remember like earlier in the chat when I asked to get like the Jets pick, but that's also the pick I was actually thinking about.
I was reading your mind.
I know with most mock drafts, the way the board falls, Kayvon Thibodeau is usually available at number 4, which I think he's a top 3 player in the class. It might be a little bit hot takey, but I do like his potential better than Aiden Hutchinson, and I also think he is the better prospect right now than Trayvon Walker. So I would say he's probably my number 1 player in the class.
Okay.
I haven't really factored in positional value and anything, so I can't really put somebody above the other. But I liked that pick for the fact that even with the 49ers, you see Robert Saleh, he has prioritized drafting D linemen in the first round for plenty of years. They had Eric Armstead, they even drafted DeForest Buckner, Javon Kinlaw. So that's just I always thought that was
forget about him.
I always know that Robert Saleh does prefer to go in the trenches with his earlier picks because that's what he values more.
Yeah, I mean, I can see them. That's why I did it. I feel like he'd fit that defense. They can use more help in the secondary, but when you have a pass rush, it helps your secondary as well. So they got a lot of young guys in that secondary. They drafted Michael Carter II. They got Brandon Eccles. They signed DJ Reed, and then they bring over Jordan Whitehead from the Buccaneers. So they got some players in that defensive back group. So yeah, that's why I felt like they'll go edge. I think the value at 4 for Kayvon. I don't know. I could see him slipping, but I could see them also getting him at 4 too. That's the thing that's crazy about this draft. You see Thibodeau go as early as say 3, or he can go maybe as low as 9. So it's very intriguing to see how the draft board's actually gonna fall. Jake, you got any input on this pick?
No, I was for sure it was gonna be Sauce, and I think that's what's gonna happen if it was.
I've been rolling with
Yeah.
Sauce with all my mocks, but I felt like changing it up real quick, and because again, you never really know, obviously, and that's the thing that bugs me with people when
I
it
like
comes to
that,
mock
though.
drafts is that they take it too serious. I mean, it's just for fun and ideas. It's not obviously even that the quote unquote experts don't get 90% of it right. So like
Yeah, exactly.
I hate when people try to be negative about it when really the person being negative don't know themselves. So it's like don't critique me or you or anyone else on their mocks when you don't know yourself and you're probably gonna get 98% of it wrong anyway. So
You took this player 3 spots too early.
That's classic.
so yeah, it's funny to me.
Who cares?
Yeah, it's funny to me. But we can go on to the fifth pick, which is the other New York team. X, you got the New York Giants first round pick, as they also have two. Who you got them picking with the fifth overall pick?
So, interestingly enough, if I were the Giants, I would strongly consider, trading down with potentially. I know there's been a lot of talk about the Steelers trying to leapfrog the Panthers for one of these quarterback prospects because we don't really know what the Panthers are going to do. Even the pick with J.C. Horn last year was a little bit of a surprise, even though we knew corner was a need for the Panthers at the time. But with the way the board is falling right now, I can't really pass up on Evan Neal, even though Sauce Gardner is one of my dream fits for the Giants because in the Wink Martindale defense, they always run, the cover 0 man blitz. And I think Sauce Gardner is a perfect fit for that. He's a really good man corner. And he is, I know they have like the injury concerns with Derek Stingley and even just like effort concerns in general. I think those are overblown. I actually prefer Stingley over Sauce Gardner, but I do like Sauce Gardner better as a fit for the Giants. But with all that said, I don't see how you can pass up on Evan Neal, who I am going to select for the Giants.
When you do need offensive line help, especially Daniel Jones' future is questionable, of course, but again, a quarterback's best friend is their protection. Obviously, that obviously helps as long as the receivers catching that ball. But yeah, I don't mind. I like that pick. I can see them going Evan Neal if because you also don't know if Carolina is going to tackle or quarterback, or you really don't know. So it'll be interesting to see what they do at 5. Jake, you got any input?
I think Evan Neal would be the dream for the Giants if he was there at 5. There are reports, though, coming from New York that they're high on Cross. So that's interesting to keep track of. But I doubt they go that route if Neal is on board. Now, if he's off the board and Nicky's there, and it's him versus Cross, then I think that'd be a tad more interesting to keep track of. But yeah, I think Evan Neal ultimately would be the dream for the Giants and their fans.
Yeah, I can see that. But now that I have you talking, Jake, you have the 6th overall pick, and you have my Carolina Panthers. Who are they going to select with the 6th overall pick?
Do it.
Are we gonna have our first trade like I want? Because now I can bring it up. I feel like us personally, we should trade back, and I hope we do. What are you doing for us, man? Are you having us trade back, or are we selecting?
Well, Matt Rule's ass is on the line. Okay, to start, they have this pick, but then they don't select again until what'd you say, 130?
Like 137 or something crazy, like something in the hundreds.
That's a crazy long wait.
Yeah.
So, if you're the Panthers, I don't know how you can just sit here and feel comfortable staying put at 6. Which is why I'm going to be trading back with the Houston Texans.
So you have us train back with the 13th pick?
Oh,
do you want to go into like what we'd give up or what they'd give up, or you just want to just force it 13 and 6? Like
just force it.
Just force it. Okay. We don't need to go deep into what they'd give up because we strictly is talking about the first round. If we're doing like a multiple round mock draft, I understand the bring it into it, but since we're just talking about the first round, they obviously only have one other first round pick anyway. So yeah, we'll roll with it like that. So you got Houston trading up with the Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
So where you rolling?
They get their capital.
We can assume they get a second or a third in there or something. Yeah. So,
and then something for next year too. Since you're going from 13 to 6.
You're still in the top 10.
You're gonna have to get something back.
You're in the top 10 at least still. I mean,
Yeah.
being top 5 is better, or top 3 even, but you're still in the top 10 at 6. So
And then you got Lovie Smith for the coach of the Texans. What do we remember him for? You know, the defensive head coach for the Chicago Bears, and they had
growing a beard that's white.
The
that
Tampa
was
2
weird.
defense.
That was so weird to see. I was like, is that
Right.
really him? I'm like,
Like, where'd the beard come from? You got them rolling defense though.
I do. That
And
Bears
who is it?
defense had Pat Tillman and Tim Jennings, two very
Charles Tillman.
yeah,
Don't get Pat Tillman confused with Charles.
Pat Tillman. That's it.
Rest in peace,
my
Pat
God,
Tillman.
I said Pat Tillman. All right.
Rest in peace, Pat Tillman.
I said Pat. I meant to say
Yeah.
Peanut.
Yeah. Now
That's
FBI agent Charles Tillman.
So Peanut Tillman and Tim Jennings, two very good corners for that Bears defense. That's one of the reasons why they were successful for a good amount of years. This Texans defense, it's they're gonna be going with Lovie Smith's more zone-based philosophy, I think. I mean, I don't know why he would change it up too much. I mean, he's been doing it for this long, so why change it, right? But they still need guys that can cover. That's why I'm gonna be going with Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati.
Okay.
He's ready to go right now. 6'3", 205, 210. Really long. Speed isn't maybe as great as Stingley, but it's good. And he'll deliver the goods on Sundays. And then his size at times will make up for it. And he's got insane quickness for his size. He'll be able to play good man, good zone, and is, for a skinnier guy like him, really aggressive. Not afraid to tackle, not afraid to try and punch the ball out of players, which kind of reminds me a little bit of Charles Tillman, except maybe Charles Tillman was a little shorter back in the day. And then, not a lot of people on earth are built like Sauce Gardner. So I feel like this, with him falling to 6, the Jets passing on him, the Giants passing on him at 5, I think it's too good of a scenario for the Texans to just sit there at 13, not trade up. So that's what I'm going with. Texans, number 6, they move up. Ahmad Gardner, he's a Houston Texan, and fans are loving this draft.
Yeah, I could see that. I've been mocking that trade, but for Kyle Hamilton though, because a lot of my mocks have been having Gardner gone. But I can see them rolling with Gardner as well if they decide they need corner help more than safety help. But yeah, we're on the 7th pick now. We got the Giants' second first round pick of this year's draft, and we didn't roll corner. I feel like they do need a corner, especially with the whole Bradbury conversation. Is he gonna get dealt? That seems like it's been intriguing for the defense if Bradbury is going to be there or not. But I feel like he might. I don't know, because I feel like he is, but then I feel like it would have happened by now because the draft's literally tomorrow. Maybe it might happen before the draft, it might happen during the draft. Who really knows? But we had X give him Evan Neal with the 5th overall pick. You got Derek Stingley Jr. and they can also use Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton, they need a safety. They don't got Peppers anymore, nor Logan Ryan. So you can roll Kyle Hamilton or Derek Stingley. With that being said, though, I'll do something I haven't done. I'll roll Derek Stingley to the Giants at 7. I feel like they can use more corner help. I know that's X's boy. He's an LSU homer, but I'm gonna have Kyle Hamilton fall, and I'll roll with Derek Stingley going 7th overall to the Giants. I want to hear your input on that, though, X.
I was actually really hoping that you wouldn't take him. That is interesting, though. I feel like if the Giants were to, say the mock draft, the board goes exactly this way, right? Before the Giants pick, before the Giants' second pick, if the team before them were to take Ahmad Gardner, I feel like the Giants would trade down with maybe potentially a team that's trying to take a quarterback. A lot of mock drafts that I see, and not even just that, but I can see it in real life. The Steelers, and I know Jake has his opinions on the Steelers trading up for a quarterback, but I could see the Steelers being one of the teams that could trade up for a quarterback.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm not talking no Kenny Pickett. I more specifically Malik Willis, because I feel like that is the destination that he would probably be most successful at. And I feel like the Steelers are the type of team that has the foresight to, make sure their rookie QB sits. They did sign Mitchell Trubisky as a bridge quarterback in case maybe they were going to draft a rookie QB. I don't really see any way where they roll in next season with Mitchell Trubisky as their only answer at quarterback. So that is kind of my logic for that.
I can see Giants moving back, or to be honest, I can see even Washington possibly moving back at 11 and then moving back to 20 with Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I'll get into the next pick though with that in mind, and because the Steelers did not leapfrog anybody, I will take Malik Willis for the Falcons.
You're gonna make him take Malik Willis?
Oh,
Yes.
screw you.
If
I'm actually kind of surprised by
leapfrog
that.
the Falcons, and so I believe that's the pick. Obviously, the Falcons are also one of those teams that can go best player available since they have a lot of holes on the roster. I even considered getting Derek Stingley before you took him. So I think
Surprised they don't have receiver as their needs when you got nobody's.
I considered Garrett Wilson, but I have other thoughts on that. So, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're changing it up real quick. Again, I don't want to see no comments saying, "Oh, X is down for picking Malik Willis." Do you know? Can you read the future? Are you in these guys' war rooms? You don't know.
Yeah, I'm just making my pick based off how the board is falling. So
This is X being the GM for the Falcons.
yeah,
Okay, see, can I comment on this?
yes.
Go ahead, man. I know you're kind of hurting right now.
You're an idiot. Alright.
It's just how the board fell.
This is
Seattle.
not fun, man. But yeah, Jake, who going with Seattle at the 9th overall pick? This is kind of intriguing too, because they have
Well,
options.
Well, I'm just gonna put out there right now, even with every single quarterback still on the board, if that were to happen, Seattle's not going quarterback, and I think that would be silly. And I think same with Atlanta as well. I think more so for Seattle, they're not going to be going quarterback. Atlanta's still possible. I'm not going to completely rule it out. It's just Seattle has too many needs. I think especially on defense. And then I look at the board we have currently, and there's two guys that are really enticing for me. One offense and one defense. The offensive guy is Charles Cross. They need a tackle. But I think they're more likely to go defense, which is why, with this guy still on the board, and he's one of my favorite players, I'm going Jermaine Johnson, Florida State University, edge rusher.
They could use the edge rusher.
They do. They should.
They don't have Carlos Dunlap. Kerry Hyder's not there. I can't even think of who their edge rushers are right now. So man,
Yep.
Jermaine Johnson could be a pick there. I don't blame you for that.
Jermaine Johnson. I love the build of the guy. Like in terms of physique, like just like not necessarily like style of play, but pure like the build of the player. I like it better than Kayvon Thibodeau. If I'm being honest with you, he's built like he has that Khalil Mack look to him. Like he looks like a traditional edge, in my opinion. And he had to transfer out of Georgia, but I mean, there's some badass guys in Georgia. I mean, yeah.
They have multiple people in this draft that can get selected high.
And then obviously, especially as of late, we've seen college coaches make poor decisions. Like, no disrespect to Dwayne Haskins, but starting him over Joe Burrow at Ohio State. And then you have those same coaches wanting to roll with, Olave and Wilson over who I think, and then, what was it? Oh, yeah, Jameson Williams, right? They're going to involve Wilson and Olave more than Williams. And I think Williams is better than both of those guys. So, just because they're D1 college coaches doesn't mean that every decision they make is perfect and ends up, always panning out. So, voila, Jermaine Johnson's a great football player, and he's going to be a first-round pick, and I think he should be a top 10 pick. And I think, if I'm a Seattle fan, I'm jumping up and down with joy if they get Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because they have multiple options. Are they going to believe in Drew Lock? If you're going to believe in Drew Lock, you get a tackle, and Charles Cross is right there on the board. Again, even when you have a somewhat mediocre quarterback, giving them offensive line help at least helps them somewhat.
I
'Cause they
mean,
won't be under
I
pressure.
can't say they believe in Drew Lock.
Yeah, that's
That's the
about
long-term
that's what
answer.
yeah that's why it's intriguing because like, do they really believe in Drew Lock or are they gonna go quarterback at 9? Like, who really knows what they're gonna do at 9? And then yeah, they failed to get Russell Wilson any offensive line help. So do they get Charles Cross in at 9? They need edge help and they can still use another corner as well. So you went with Jermaine Johnson, so you took that kind of need off it. So yeah, now the Jets are back on the clock with their second pick in the first round. This is from Seattle from the Jamal Adams trade. It's crazy. I mean, actually, I'd say pretty good trades they made. They got Jamal Adams for 2 firsts, which I think was ridiculous. And then even the Sam Darnold, you got the second round pick and a 4th round pick with that. So they're picking in the beginning of the second, which good for them as well because Carolina was dumb to do that. So yeah, with that being said, we gave him, who did we give him again? We gave him Kayvon. Oh yeah, I gave him Kayvon. That was me. I gave him Kayvon. I'm not gonna. If they didn't get a Whitehead, I would say maybe it would be Kyle Hamilton, but I'm not gonna give him Kyle Hamilton because they got Whitehead back there, and I can't think of who else they have at safety. But
Question, Caleb.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think this pick potentially gets traded for, say, a Deebo
You know
Samuel?
what? You know what? I was just thinking that right now. As I was looking at the receivers. When I looked at Jameson Williams, like receiver. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'll make it interesting for y'all.
Oh,
I know you can do player on here. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, man. So Deebo Samuel. Do you think they give up anything else? Does that really matter in this, or you just want to give up the Deebo Samuel?
And then maybe like one late pick.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably give up like a late rounder at most, maybe like a 4th
I'll
rounder.
give them 163.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's 163.
Yeah, in terms of this mock draft, it doesn't really matter since we're not going to be going to those picks. But
Hey, this trade will likely be accepted, so
yeah.
we'll do it.
Decline.
Okay, we'll resume the draft. I'm now on the clock with the 49ers. With that being said, I guess you could say they do need a receiver to replace him. I'm gonna roll with receiver, and I'm gonna give him Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
They can wait on him in his
Oh,
return. You might
man.
miss the first month, maybe 2. See how fast it takes for him to recover from that injury from the ACL tear. But
He
I'll
could be
roll with
back
Jameson.
sooner than
Plus-
that.
plus they run first day anyway. So if they can miss him for a couple weeks, then they're not hurting. So yeah, they'll replace Deebo Samuel with Jameson Williams. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's actually really interesting. Wait, does that say Washington got Jameson Williams on the?
No, wait.
Oh yeah, it does.
What the-
How did I get Charles Cross there?
Could you
wait,
rewind?
Is there a
Right.
timer or something?
I don't think there
think so.
is.
Yeah, let's go talk about it. I'll fix this real quick. While,
I mean,
while you
all
talk
right,
about it.
something old.
While y'all
I'll give
talk
my
about it, I'll
thoughts.
fix this real
Yeah.
quick.
I think that's interesting. I mean, I can see it happening. Crazier things have definitely happened. I could see the Deebo trade definitely for the 49ers and the Jets. Jameson Williams, though, I think that's interesting because I feel like the consensus number 1 receiver for like a lot of people is Garrett Wilson, but
I've seen a lot of Jameson Williams hype coming up recently too. So that's why
I feel like
I'm all hyped.
Garrett Wilson would be a better scheme fit, but at the same time, I feel like they already have their, Garrett Wilson and Brandon Ayuk, so I feel like a speedster actually might actually work out for the 49ers in that case, and especially assuming Trey Lance starts this next season. They haven't traded Garoppolo, and I'm not sure what they're really attempting to do with that.
We went
especially
Evan
because
Neal,
his-
right, with the Giants. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, I did with the Giants at pick 5.
Then we traded this. Yeah. So yeah, go back to what you're saying. Sorry.
Yeah,
Forgot.
stylistically, I think Jameson Williams with Trey Lance would actually be a fit. It's just something I've definitely never considered before, but
No, that's what I'm saying. The draft be surprising, man. Things
Yeah,
come out of nowhere.
exactly.
It's like who
the
would have
picks
thought?
are never what we expect. Like, I feel like the Jalen Waddle pick for the Dolphins is kind of like what this is akin to. Obviously, they traded up, and it's like nobody saw that coming, but it is a pick that makes sense that can't possibly happen.
I see. How about you, Jake? I need you to talk while I get this set up real quick.
I think Williams is the perfect fit for the Niners. I think if they were to go receiver right here, if they were to trade Deebo and get number 10, and if they were to go receiver, because it's not their only option, but if they did go receiver, I think Williams is the perfect scheme fit for the 49ers because he's, I mean, like Debo, he's fast, right? Blazing speed. Fastest receiver in the draft for my money. He snatches the ball out of the air on the slants, the shallow crosses, and he just takes it upfield, doesn't lose momentum after going for the ball. And after that, he's too hard to catch, too hard to bring down. So it could be as if Debo never left for the 49ers. So, and then you also get the Jets getting fixed. And yeah, it's gonna be like Debo never left San Francisco. You could have to do without him for the first couple weeks, but I don't think it's gonna be more than a month. I really don't. I mean, it's 2022. ACL injuries are
healing faster now.
Yeah,
I definitely believe that concern's overblown.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it definitely is.
We saw Cam Akers come from an Achilles tear, like literally right before the season started. By the end of the season, he was already fine. And obviously, like an Achilles tear is different from an ACL injury, but a lot more time has passed since Jameson Williams' ACL injury. And I also heard they had stories about John Mechie and Jameson Williams. They're both recovering together, getting on the field and practicing. They said John Mechie is a little bit more ahead of schedule, but Jameson Williams is also ahead of schedule as well, just a little bit less ahead. So I definitely do think he'll be ready, though. Say a couple weeks in, and there's even I wouldn't even say it's a long shot that he's ready by week 1.
Yeah, that Cam Akers Achilles injury, that one, with him coming back for the Super Bowl, that surprised me.
I think definitely. That's where I see where the problem. Oh, I didn't give him Brandon Jones. I keep messing up on this, man.
Whatever. Brandon Jones is Deebo Samuel now.
See what the problem is. It doesn't let me go back to make the pick. So when I click resume draft, it picks for them.
I'm gonna open my window. Give me a sec.
That's just stupid PFF, I guess. I don't want to say they get Trent McDuffie. I don't want to say that. Trent McDuffie's why is this gotta be stupid, man? PFF's being dumb. Don't look at Trent McDuffie. That's gonna be Jameson Williams. So I guess whoever we think is gonna get Trent McDuffie, we'll just put Jameson Williams there. Washington.
All right, it's my pick.
Washington's on the clock. I did that. Yeah, I don't know why PFF's being dumb, but it's what it is. Washington's on the clock. Who are you going with, Dex?
So yeah, this is interesting because Charles Cross is still on the board, and I feel like a tackle needy team would trade up to the spot. I just really can't figure out who that would be at this certain point. But I guess I can make a surprise pick right now. And this is a really surprising pick, obviously, because I don't think a lot of people believe in this player as much as others. I think it's a really hot takey pick, but I'm going to pick Drake London with this pick. And
okay.
Yeah, I personally do like Garrett Wilson and Jameson Williams both better than Drake London. I actually even like Treylon Burks better than Drake London, but from Washington's point of view, and I even think with they put all their chips in the Carson Wentz bag, and so if they're gonna go down that route, then give them a receiver that Carson Wentz has like familiarity with. So I think Drake London is like in the mold of like Alshon Jeffrey kind of, which you see in Carson Wentz have his best seasons with. Having that guy that could go up and get the ball, and even with Michael Pittman on the Colts.
Passes,
Yeah. He's definitely a guy that takes a lot of chances. Granted, sometimes not accurate, sometimes not the right chances, but they're chances. And I feel like Washington is sold on Carson Wentz. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gave up what they gave up for him. So, Drake London, that's my pick for the Washington Commanders.
I can see that. You got Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, hopefully can stay healthy, and then your number 3 is Diami Brown, which it's interesting to see what he can do in year 2. He seems like a slot guy, but I feel like Curtis Samuel is also the slot kind of guy. I feel like you're better with Drake London and Terry McLaurin being your 1 and 2, and then having Curtis Samuel in the slot. So I feel like that's a smart pick for Washington. But we got Minnesota on the clock now. Jake, who are you rolling with? Because they can use a corner, they can use offensive line, they can use an edge as well. Is there an edge right now you think is worth taking, or a corner? They can go McDuffie. Do you think maybe they trade back and get a corner later in the round, and this can be where Steelers trade up for a quarterback because the Carolina's right after them? How are you feeling right now? What do you think Minnesota's going to do?
I do think there is an edge worth taking here. I was hoping one of the corners would make it. I thought about McDuffie here, but
Well, so Kyle Hamilton's still on the board.
he is.
I'm just putting that out there.
He is, and it's
Someone
interesting
might trade up for him.
because Harrison Smith is getting up there.
That too.
He's getting up there. I mean, and he's coming off yet another Pro Bowl worthy season, and he's been one of the better safeties over the past decade, and he's got some Hall of Fame worthy credentials as a safety, and
Yeah, he makes a valid point.
he's been one of the better guys across the league for a long time. But man, this is tough. All right, you know what? Let's make it interesting. I do have a trade.
Okay.
It's not going to be a huge jump. So I'm going to have the Philadelphia Eagles going from 15 to 12,
Okay.
and they're going to take Kyle Hamilton.
Do you have anything else given up with it? Like, is it 18 still on the board?
No,
Or anything else?
18 still on the board.
Okay, then that's all that matters.
Yeah.
As long as they still keep 18. This thing's
So-
dumb. There you go.
So Howie Roseman puts his sack in the wheelbarrow, and he gets his fans Kyle Hamilton.
Okay.
He can do it all. He can play in the box. You can put him on the outside every once in a while. You can put him in the slot. You can. He's not going to be your, super traditional deep cover 3 safety like that. He's more of the versatile type that can do everything really well. And I think the number one reason why Hamilton, for me, is just such a great player and a great safety is he was put on earth to cover these pass-catching tight ends, the Mark Andrews of the world, the Travis Kelce of the world. I mean, 6'4", 210, 215, somewhere around there. The size, you get a guy like that on your team, he can match up with those all-pro tight ends, which are so hard to cover nowadays in the NFL. Because there's not many guys that are on earth that can match up with the size of those dudes. But Hamilton is one of them. So, defensive coordinators are going to love having this guy for their defense, and they're going to have no problem putting him anywhere on the field.
Yeah, I can see that. No, that'd be helpful for the secondary. You still got Darius Slay back there. They can still use a corner as well. But also they can use help at safety. So I feel like to move up a couple spots, obviously we still keep the 18th pick because you went from 15 to 12. Not a big jump for Philly. So,
and also, I think the trade is logical if you think of it this way. The Ravens need safety help. It may be a bit low-key because, you wouldn't really think, Kyle Hamilton falling this far.
Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't even call it falling because I think, somewhere between, 8 and 12, I think that's where he will go. So I think it's realistic, but, the Ravens are right there at 14, and they need a safety.
Yeah, with Marcus Williams. They can still use another one. I meant Chuck Clark's whatever.
Yeah.
But
And the Eagles need a safety too. So
Yeah.
I think it'd be logical for the Eagles who are behind the Ravens to jump ahead of them. So
yeah, not a bad choice. Yeah, Kyle Hamilton, that could be a possibility. I feel like if he's there at 12, either someone can trade up for him. So not a bad choice. Speaking of trades, though, got Carolina on the clock after they traded with the Houston Texans from 6th to 13th. That was originally owned by the Cleveland Browns. That came from the Deshaun Watson trade. Some might think they can get a quarterback right here, but you know what? This is what I'm going off what I want them to do. We're having trade back again because I feel like who they're gonna go for is gonna be there still, and I'm trading back with I'm having them trade back with the Los Angeles Chargers, a couple spots back as well. They get 13 swap, and then that's where they with the that's what I want them to do with the Houston trade. They get either I'm assuming a second. If they trade back again with the Chargers, hopefully they get a second or a third as well to make up for the picks they lost, because you lost it with Sam Darnold trade and you lost the third from the CJ Henderson trade. So to be able to make up for them picks and move back a couple spots and still get who I think they're gonna get, which is a quarterback. I already know who you guys think it is. I feel like that could be a possibility. So I'm gonna force that. And then who they have on the board, I think, is at great value, just like how they got Rashawn Slater at great value when they selected him last year. They're going to get Charles Cross on the other side. Storm Norton was one of the worst tackles in the league last year. You got Rashawn Slater on the left side. You got Charles Cross on the right side. Justin Herbert's going to be a one happy man. Chargers are in win now mode with all the recent moves they made. I feel like when you got Charles Cross available at 13, Chargers are going to pull something. When you do got New Orleans coming up at 16, who also need a tackle, I feel like they'll want to leap them, and Carolina could be a team that could try and trade back again to get who I think is Kenny Pickett. And they're also ahead of the Steelers still, so I feel like that could be a possibility. What are your thoughts on that?
Really hope it doesn't happen in real life.
I know you hope it don't happen, but
I was actually thinking you were gonna pick Charles Cross with the Panthers pick, but now I have a better understanding of what you're doing now. So I
also don't. I feel like they're not gonna go tackle right away because Brady Christensen was up and down last year. I feel like he kind of picked up more towards the end. Cam Irving's not gonna be the guy. I feel like Brady Christensen, who they drafted in the 3rd round last year out of BYU, I feel like they're gonna roll with him, and I feel like they're gonna bank on his young talent, and hopefully he can pick things up in his second year. If they don't, or maybe they go a tackle, and if they get a second, 2 seconds, or a second and third with these trades I just made, they might go a tackle there, but in those rounds. But I feel like Kenny Pickett looks like the favorite, and if we're gonna get Kenny Pickett, I'll be satisfied getting Kenny Pickett if we make those moves to get some day 2 picks. But yeah, we can go on to the Baltimore Ravens. So we don't need to ramble too much. I feel like this is the pick Trent McDuffie can go off of. Maybe next would be Trent McDuffie. I'm just tired of seeing Jameson Williams there when he's not supposed to. But who are you wrong with X?
Man, I'm just the master of surprise picks today. So I was originally I was thinking Garrett Wilson. I don't think he's gonna fall this far in the real draft. So there might be a trade up for him, but since this is the way the board fell or whatever, I guess the fall happened. But
Baltimore can use the receiver.
Yeah, they definitely can use a receiver, but I guess my way against that is just the fact that I feel like Garrett Wilson's a little bit redundant and compared to what you have in Rashad Bateman. I feel like they're the same type of receiver. Obviously Garrett Wilson was probably a little bit better of a prospect than Bateman was, but we forget the type of prospect Bateman was. He was actually highly regarded, and they're really similar builds. And a similar type of receiver, the big route runner, separator type. So I guess I just don't really see that happening. I think I'll just roll with Trent McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie, okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be labeled as Jameson Williams, sadly, because PFF mock draft trade, mock simulator, whatever you want to call it, gave us Trent McDuffie San Francisco when it was supposed to be Jameson Williams. That's who I was rolling with because they traded Deebo Samuel to the San Francisco 49ers. So for those who are watching and are confused, I don't think Trent McDuffie is going to go 10th overall pick to San Francisco. That's supposed to be Jameson Williams, so that's why Jameson Williams is labeled on 14. But now we're back to Miami's pick. Jake, you're back with Miami. I feel like you kind of made that trade on purpose so you can make a decision for him again. Trent McDuffie's off the board right before him, so where are the Minnesota Vikings going with the 15th overall pick?
What do you get when a Greek becomes a Viking?
George Karlaftis?
You get Yorgos Karlaftis.
You're wrong. You're wrong with George Karlaftis.
Yorgos. I love that name, by the way.
Yorgos.
I had a dream fit for him that I was really hoping that we would see, but here we are.
I'm probably higher on Karlaftis than most. I like him a lot. I think he's got physical tools that I think are really going under the radar. I feel like I think most people see him as this like low ceiling but high floor player. I think he has a ceiling, and I think there is some uncapped potential in his game. And for me, at least from what I've seen, he doesn't get beat a lot. Like he doesn't get bullied by the opposing team too much. He doesn't lose too many battles, and the Vikings need a guy like that, especially with all these corners flying off the board now. Go get yourself a certified edge guy, opposite of Danielle Hunter, and I like this pick from Minnesota, and I think he looked real good in the Vikings uni as well. So,
I feel like he's a Viking, or like maybe like a New England. He seems like a Bill Belichick guy. Either one of those teams, but yeah, I can see them if the top corners are there, maybe in the second round, maybe, or they trade up, or depending on what they got with the Philadelphia trade, maybe they get a cornerback. There's some talent still in the second round that you can go with, but yeah, George Karlaftis to the Minnesota Vikings. That leaves me on the board with the New Orleans Saints.
Don't screw up the draft, Kev.
You know what? I feel like they think. I feel like they think. Who I want to get. I feel like they think is going to be there at 19. So unless Carolina decides to go tackle, so I'm not going to go Trevor Penning right here. I'm gonna give him Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
Because I don't see him falling anymore. They need Michael Thomas. Who knows what's up with him? They bring in another Ohio State receiver though, because they need more than this Michael Thomas. Garrett Wilson at that is terrific value, because I don't see him going at 16. But again, if our mock somehow comes true, because again, NFL draft, it's all unpredictable, especially this year's. Maybe he might be there at 16. So yeah, I feel like they'll go Garrett Wilson, give Jameis Winston, who looked good before his injury, give him some more talent at receiver, because Marcus Callaway, it didn't seem, he used preseason hype. Obviously, the regular season didn't do much. Who else they got? Like Traquan Smith. Like, I don't even know who their tight end is right now. Like, they need more than just Kamara, and then Michael Thomas. Who knows what's up with him, because it seemed like he didn't even want to be on the team. And then, it's a lot of drama with that. But I'll roll with Garrett Wilson. I feel like that's great value at 16. But y'all got any input, or actually you ready to make my Panthers pick it?
I was ready to make this next pick, but yeah, I do like the pick of Garrett Wilson to the Saints. I'm not sure. Do you guys know what Michael Thomas's availability is? How that's looking for next season?
I know he's been making tweets. Like, I know he posted something not that long ago. I think it was when Deshaun Watson was traded to Cleveland. He posted like a subliminal tweet towards New Orleans.
So we think that ship has sailed. So
that's what it seems like, but I don't know the word, because they haven't been any rumors about him in trade, rumors or anything like that, or. I know he's been hurt recently, but I'm sure obviously he'll be healthy by this coming season. So I don't know what the word is. So that's why I rolled Garrett Wilson. They could also go Trevor Penning, because he did lose arguably one of the best left tackles in the game, with the Teron Armstead going to Miami. So, but I feel like they know Carolina probably won't go tackle if they're on trade back, and then I don't think they know Philly's not going to go tackle. I don't think so. I feel like Trevor Penning's going to be there for 19. That's just me. So that's why I made the Garrett Wilson decision.
Yeah. I was going to say, assuming hypothetically in a perfect world, if they ever got Michael Thomas back, that would actually be like a sneakily good, really, really good receiving core for Jameis Winston and the Saints. And suddenly, like, the offense isn't even really looking that bad. And that is really just the limit to that team, just depending on how good Jameis does. So I think that's a really good pick. I am ready to move on to this next pick, though. So I strongly considered for the Panthers, taking Kenny Pickett just to piss you guys off. Well, just to piss Kev off.
I'm not really mad about it, man. I'm kind of expecting it at this point. That's what I'm feeling. And then, I'll be happy with it if you do what I did right now.
I think they'll go QB here, and I'm not going to pick Kenny Pickett. But
you going Corral?
I'm going Matt Corral, baby.
Yeah!
Yeah!
At least that's what I would do, but...
that's what I like to hear.
I'm not sure if the Panthers have that kind of foresight. And also, I do...
Because they're high on Pickett, man. That's why I feel like they're going to go Pickett.
I don't even think it's that. I do feel like they think Pickett is the better player right now, and Matt Rule does not have many years left to prove himself.
You better make the right choice, man.
And I don't even think this year, if they fall short of playoffs, I'm not sure if the future's looking too bright for Matt Rule. And so I would think they would pick Kenny Pickett, but Matt Corral definitely isn't extremely raw as some people like make him out to be. And he does have a good amount of upside. Honestly, I do think Matt Corral and even Sam Howell, in terms of like upside, they're a lot closer to Malik Willis than a lot of people would actually like to admit. Might be hot take-ish. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I don't think it's like a far and away difference as people make it seem. Malik Willis being like the consensus number one. I have Malik Willis at number one, but like I personally would rather choose Sam Howell or Matt Corral over him, even though I do think he has the upside to become the better player. But for the Panthers' sake, I think it's either Pickett or Corral at this pick. 65-35 Kenny Pickett, but for the sake of this mock draft, I will pick Matt Corral.
Yeah, I'll be happy with Matt Corral too. And then make those trades that we made to get day 2 picks. Because I'm not too sold. Obviously, a lot of people aren't too sold on Kenny Pickett. I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett, so I'd be happy to get Matt Corral, even if it's at 17th overall. Even though I still feel like it's gonna be Kenny Pickett, but again, you never know. They obviously the media says one thing and it never comes to be totally accurate. So if it's Matt Corral, I'll be stoked. So yeah, we can move on. No, we got the Philadelphia Eagles picking at 18 with the little trade they made a couple weeks ago with New Orleans, where they flip-flopped. So yeah, wait, no, it's Jake. Who you got the Philadelphia Eagles taking at 18?
I got the Saints trading up one spot.
You got them trading back?
I do, but just one spot.
So they're going back and forth like they did a couple weeks ago. You feel like someone might make a trade to leap them? Is that why?
I think the Saints could be thinking Pittsburgh. Probably not. Knowing Kevin Colbert, at this point he'll just stay put where he is. But
you feel like they'll trade back to get Penning?
Yeah, but the Saints may or may not be feeling that. And oh god. Ask myself this: am I doing this just so the Steelers don't get him? Yes, I am. Get them Kenny Pickett.
You're giving them Kenny Pickett?
Screw you guys.
You're making sure X don't give you
I know
Pickett.
your diabolical plan.
And that's where Trevor Penning is gonna go. You're trying to steal Trevor Penning, is what you're doing.
But I mean, I would trust Pickett over Winston. I'm just saying. And I think with them playing indoors half the year.
Jake's trying to fool us right now. Damn.
I mean, it's not insanely crazy. I don't think. I think it's somewhat of a possibility. I think so. Maybe not as much as some other teams, but I'm not completely ruling it out.
This is Daily Football Zone mock draft, man. Pick whoever you want.
Again, like I went on a rant earlier, man. You don't know who's going where. You don't know what's going to happen. They might swap their picks again. You never know.
Oh god, man.
Yeah, I'll go on with the Philadelphia Eagles pick though. I feel like they can go They can go Devin Lloyd here. They can go Jordan Davis, or if they feel like Devontae Wyatt's more their guy. I'm gonna roll with Devin Lloyd though. That's my boy. I feel like they still. I don't care what anyone says. I've gotten into arguments with Eagle fans with me making them get Devin Lloyd. I feel like he's obviously an upgrade over T.J. Edwards. I don't care about Devin Lloyd's 40 time at the combine. He plays faster than that, and you see it on tape. I don't give a damn who T.J. Edwards is. They say you bring in Hassan Reddick. Yeah, he's a linebacker, but he's more of an edge guy. I rather use him rushing the passer than playing in coverage. That's just me. Again, I rather have Devin Lloyd in the middle over T.J. Edwards. So that's just me. And then you bring in Kazir White. Yeah. Devin Lloyd's the better linebacker out of Edwards and Kazir White. And then Reddick's more of an edge rusher, in my opinion. So, I'm rolling with Devin Lloyd. That's just me.
Solid pick.
Yeah, I got a lot of slack for that, but I feel like Lloyd's gonna go to Philly. That's just my feeling. But now we got the Philadelphia, not the Philadelphia. We got the other Pennsylvania team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry, Jake, it didn't fall into your hands. So X is now on the board. Who you picking for? Who you picking for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I feel like this could be a Jordan Davis move or a Trevor Penning move. But
Question:
what's up, man?
If Pickett was there, was that going to be the pick?
I don't think so.
Are you serious? I didn't have to do that then?
Yeah, it would have
Come
been for
on.
me. It would have been for. It would have been.
But
me
that just
if I was
adds to the
picking.
realism of the mock draft. So
Man, I was so confident he was going to be the pick if he was there.
if I picked quarterback, I don't even think I was going to
traded.
pick it.
Man, I didn't have to do that to the Saints. Saints
how he
fans, I'm sorry.
He did remind me that what's his name? That Jordan Davis was still on the board, but I don't know, man.
Do it.
They
Do
do
it.
need better. They do need people in the interior. They're are like the worst run defense.
How many human beings on earth are like Jordan Davis?
You guys,
Well,
you,
it's
you guys,
good,
you guys
but-
sold me on it. You guys sold me on it. And the
Give him
reason I
Jordan
say it, yeah,
He
give him
seems
Jordan
like a
Davis.
Steeler. He seems like a Steeler or a Raven. Ravens didn't go with him, so I feel like he'll fit with the Steelers.
Oh,
that
Oh,
need
man, I would
help
love
in the
to
run
see that.
defense.
So I'll give my explanation for the pick. I was also thinking even Trevor Penning at this pick too, just because I
Yeah.
know Steelers could use O-lineman in general, but I don't think you can ever argue with best player available, and I do think a lot of people, they do like to talk down on like run defense not being as valuable, but it definitely is valuable. And Jordan Davis, in my personal opinion, is the type of player who could single-handedly have you field at least an average run defense
Yeah.
at all times. He's
Well, you
prototypical run stuffer.
you need to have a run defense if you're playing against Joe Mixon, Lamar Jackson, and all those running backs in Baltimore.
Most
That's going to be
definitely.
healthy. You got
Lamar Jackson,
Joe
running back.
Mixon. You need run defense.
Scum.
Huh? What was that?
You're calling Lamar Jackson a
No,
running
but
back.
he runs the ball, and then you got all the Ravens running backs going back healthy. So
He was the first
need
guy
a-
you named, Caleb.
Because obviously between all the running backs they have, I'm still using Lamar's feet over their feet as of right now, as they're coming off injury.
We'll give you a pass for now.
Hey, you got J.K. Dobbins coming off injury, man. Lamar's feet are more healthy right now.
All right.
But now, Jake, you're picking for the New England Patriots, and they can use. I don't think receiver is going to be the guy after trading for Parker. They can go corner, even edge. I guess linebacker as well, according to the PFF needs. Who are you rolling with this pick?
Well, they need corner, but I feel
Still got the
like
corners available too. You got Booth there, Elam, Hill.
I feel like Belichick's gonna wait for corner.
He is known for trading too. So do you think they trade?
He is known for trading, and what he usually does with corners at least is he tends to wait in the mid to later rounds.
I'm J.C. Jackson.
Yeah,
They can get corners. They're not good at getting
It's
receivers.
crazy how he goes undrafted and then he turns into this player. It's
Same
unreal.
with Malcolm Butler.
Um,
Jonathan
they recently
Jones
brought back?
was.
I
he's
think
like
an issue that doesn't go noticed enough for the Patriots is tackle. Their offense didn't. It was good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it got them to the playoffs, but
Isaiah Wynn's been hurt.
they couldn't operate the way I think they would have liked to. And I think going Trevor Penning.
I can see that.
I am.
Isaiah Wynn hasn't panned out, and Trent Brown they bring him back, but he's
Yeah.
also injury prone as well. So I can see Penning.
The Patriots, they love size. They love big people up front. To me, he's like a less refined Sebastian Vollmer. If you guys remember him, he was
Yeah.
their longtime right tackle. I feel like he'll fill that void and start day one, despite the lack of refinement. It's just that who else do you have, and who else do you feel confident in over Penning? I feel like, he's a guy that you can coach up.
Smaller school guy.
Physically though, you can't really question the player. So I like this pick for the Patriots. Trevor Penning, he's gonna give me Sebastian Vollmer type of vibes, right tackle, and I feel pretty good about it.
Well, we got the Green Bay Packers on the board due to trading away Mr. Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders. They can go offensive line, they can go receiver. That's the thing. If Penning was there, I might have just said, fuck it, we can go Penning and get receiver at 28. But since you went Penning, I'm going to give him receiver.
If we're making this realistic, they're not gonna pick a receiver, Caleb.
I know, right? They'll probably pick another quarterback.
Brian Gutekunst hates receivers.
They might get Bailey Zapp.
The Packers are going to pick an O lineman and an H back.
Right. No, but I'll give Packer fans something to be happy about. It's just who do I want to roll with, Chris Olave or Traylon Burks? I've been giving him Burks a lot.
Traylon
So I kind of felt like Olave wasn't going to be there at 22. That's why I keep giving him Burks. But I feel like Burks is kind of like a Devontae Adams kind of guy. Both got size. Again, I don't care about combine 40. He plays faster on tape. I'll do that. I'll roll Traylon Burks over Chris Olave. They're gonna go with Traylon Burks to replace Devontae Adams. Yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, I actually like that pick because I do think Traylon Burks is the perfect fit for like the Shanahan type offenses. The ones that have like the heavy wide zone plays, play action. You know what I'm saying?
Jump ball kind of guy.
Yeah, and Traylon Burks, he definitely fits that mold. His main route in college was the crosser route and also the fade route. So, I definitely think he's a fit. I think he could be like an AJ Brownish type receiver for the Packers, and stylistically, that is a better scheme fit than Devontae Adams was for the Packers. It's just Devontae Adams was so good at what he did for the Packers.
Devontae Adams.
See him back over here. But yeah, we can move on to the next pick actually.
Which is the Cardinals. Yeah, you're up with the Cardinals. They can go multiple directions here too.
I was actually hoping Burks would go to Arizona.
That's an interesting pick. I do have something else in mind though.
And Burks going to Green Bay this whole time, but we'll see.
I'll preface this by saying I absolutely despise the Cardinals process. I absolutely despise just the Cardinals as a team. I just feel like they could be a team that's so much better than they are right now.
Always let down. They always second half collapse. They're kind of like the Raiders, except they did.
You could always point to the Cardinals. They're just a soft team. And I think that comes from the trenches. O-line, D-line, they've always been weak at that. Obviously, they did have Chandler Jones, but they were relying on him to be like their premier rusher with a J.J. Watt, who is still a really high-quality run defender and still a quality pass rusher, but I don't think he's quite like the number one guy he used to be in his career. And I'm surprised this player lasted as long as he did because he's actually one of the best players in this class, I say. It's just the positional value that messes it up for him. But
I think I know where you're going.
Do you now? I pick Zion Johnson for the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay. I thought you were going to Wyatt.
I was actually I was thinking either Devontae Wyatt, Zion Johnson, and also Arnold Ebiketie. But I saw Zion Johnson staring at me, so I was like, he's really solid.
Line.
Yeah. I think Zion Johnson is also a pro-ready prospect, too. Him being a guard, I feel like is what's going to have him fall to the lower picks as it did in this mock draft.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, good pick. They picked up Kyler Murray's fifth-year option today. We'll see what I guess according to Kyler Murray's tweets, he wants to win Super Bowls with the Cardinals. So maybe all that drama will fade away, and eventually they'll get a deal done. And I'm sure he'll be happy getting some protection. So Zion Johnson, that's a smart pick. They need guard. So that leaves you, Jake, with the sadly America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, at 24th overall.
Hey, it could have been the Steelers if Mr. Art Rooney himself turned down that opportunity.
Dallas, it is.
It was after the Super Bowl, and he was asked by this commentator, live, I think it was on the field and they were celebrating, or it might have been on a press conference or something, and he asked him, "Are you guys America's team?" And then Art Rooney took a cigar and he said, "No, we are the Pittsburgh Steelers."
Yeah, but the
runner-ups got the title.
Sounds about Art Rooney.
Ancient Steeler artifacts, facts.
I wonder if that cigar is still out there.
But yeah, who are the Dallas?
Anyways, Dallas Cowboys.
Do they go O-line? They go D-line.
They do. They go O-line, and I like Kenyon Green at this spot. He's my favorite guard. He's my favorite interior offensive lineman, and he's in my top 3 offensive linemen overall, just behind the top 2 tackles. He is like those concrete balls outside a target. He's built.
Yeah.
He's like the Boulder from Indiana Jones, man.
Those red concrete balls.
He's the Boulder from Indiana Jones.
Oh, he's
You see
trying to
that
sit on
coming at
them.
You see that coming at you?
Yeah,
Kenyon
you better move the hell out of the way.
Not Kenyon Green. The
That's
dude,
a solid pick.
physically, nothing should be questioned with Kenyon Green. He's uber athletic for his size, and I mean, the lower body on the guy. Jeez, that is, he's got some serious manpower when you got legs and ass like that. He needs a little refinement, but that's cool. That's cool. Give me the athlete, and as the coach, I'll do the rest. I'll refine the rest of your game.
That's
And
a
then
solid
the
pick. Bro.
Cowboys get their O line back on track.
Yeah, they need that after losing Collins and Williams, right? Connor Williams. And yeah, that's a good pick with Kenyon Green. That's a smart decision if I'm the Dallas Cowboys. Now we got Buffalo Bills on the clock. They don't have that many needs. Wide receivers one, but I think getting Jamison Crowder is going to fill that number 3 spot that they eventually, they replace Cole Beasley with Jamison Crowder. So I don't think they'll go receiver, even though Chris Olave is on the board, but I can see him maybe going next pick to Tennessee. I do think they need a corner because they don't got Levi Wallace anymore. He went to Pittsburgh. Tre'Davious White's coming off injury as well that he suffered on Thanksgiving. So, if it's Andrew Booth or Kyrie Elam, it could be either of those guys. I'll roll with Andrew Booth Jr. though out of Clemson. I know he's I think he recently had a surgery right this offseason, so he didn't participate in the pro day or anything like that or the combine, but he'll be ready by the start of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll give him Andrew Booth Jr. at 25. They can use more cornerback help, especially when you're facing now the Miami Dolphins receivers and Devontae Parker's now in New England, and even though obviously the Miami Dolphins receivers are more scarier, but you still need the depth there in the AFC East, and who knows what the Jets do because they can bring in if they draft a receiver or not. We gave him Deebo Samuel, so they're gonna need a secondary for sure. And Andrew Booth Jr. at 25, I feel like it's a good pick for Buffalo. But we can go on the 26th pick, which is the Tennessee Titans. X, are you gonna give him Chris Olave like I think they would, or who are you going with?
Yeah, I was actually debating this in my mind just right now. I know I was thinking of Chris Olave. I had remembered they had picked up Robert Woods from the Rams. But
he is coming
I
off
don't
injury though, and he's older.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that should stop you though from picking Chris Olave, and
he's
I
there
would
at
pick
26.
Chris Olave for the Tennessee Titans. I also think I also think it's a scheme fit for them, and I do think he'll be a better fit for them than Julio Jones was.
Man,
Even though obviously like no slight to Julio Jones' career, he's one of the greatest receivers of all time, but I do think Julio Jones as he is now wasn't really like a scheme fit because he isn't that same separator that he used to be earlier in his career, because he did play with a lot of his athleticism, and I think Chris Olave doesn't rely on really any of that to get open. He's just a smarter receiver with a better feel for zones, really crisp routes. He's a pro-ready receiver. I think he's the prototypical number 2 receiver, which they could use because they already have their number 1 guy in AJ Brown. So yeah, I think they go with Chris Olave.
Yeah, not bad pick. I think it's great value at 26. You have Chris Olave there. Yeah, Robert Woods. You trade for Robert Woods, but he is coming off. He tore his ACL too, right? He's old and he's older. So, bringing in Olave, you give Tannehill 3, very good receivers, and then you still have Derrick Henry coming back off injury as well. That could be a very good offense to come. So, yeah, I feel like that's a smart move for UX picking Chris Olave to Tennessee. But now we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the clock. Jake, how you feeling about Tampa? They can use offensive line help. They can use, some defensive help, defensive line. Devontae White's still there. They haven't brought back Ndamukong Suh. You bring Devontae White with Vita Vea. I'm just giving you options. How are you feeling though, man? Who are they rolling with?
Well, spoiler alert, you just blurted out one of the things that I'm gonna do. I was hoping Booth would follow this pick though, because that would have been the easy pick for me.
You can go Kyrie Elam.
They could, and Actually, you know what? Thinking about it now, we gotta have some second roundish guys sneak into the first, right? I mean, it happens every year.
Possible.
And
And
then
some
you have,
first going to
and then you
second.
have
you know?
some, then you have some first round graded guys fall to the second. I mean, happens all the time. So I am in fact gonna go Kyrie Elam, not just because you brought up the
That's what I
idea,
mean.
but he is a scheme
Thank
fit,
you.
and he's he can play solid zone. Good man. He has good size on him. He won't be chasing down the speedy elite receivers of the draft, like Jalen Ramsey or Alexander or Trey White or those guys. But I mean, he's a good football player. I like him, and he's one of those guys that he could sneak into the first round. And I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I thought about Devontae Wyatt, but I'm gonna go with Kyrie Elam at pick number 27.
Okay, not a bad pick. They can obviously use more secondary help, especially when you got Garrett Wilson now in this situation going to the NFC South, and then Carolina, we got them getting Matt Corral, and they still got DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, and Atlanta, they don't got any receivers, but I'm assuming they'll get someone in the second since they got Malik Willis in the first. But now we can go on to Green Bay's second pick, which is the original pick. I gave him receiver. They do need offensive line, and I'll give him Tyler Smith. Raw prospect.
Ooh, I like that pick.
He's been mocked late to Green Bay. I've seen him in a lot of mocks to Green Bay. I feel like he can be better with his hands. He's a raw prospect, but you can fix the mistakes that he made at Tulsa, and at Tulsa. So I feel like protecting Aaron Rodgers is what they need to do as well as giving him talent at receiver. So Tyler Smith is my guy. I feel like it's the best tackle available. A lot of tackles went in the first round, so at 28, Tyler Smith being there is a good choice as well, in my opinion.
I love Tyler Smith. Physically, there's nothing to question, in my opinion. It's all like any concerns that you may have, they're all technical. I think.
Yeah.
Like it's all technical issues, but
yeah, he can learn. Give him good coaching.
Yes.
Green Bay. I feel like he can. He can learn from David Bakhtiari as well. So like you got the veteran presence on the offensive line as well. So I feel like Tyler Smith would be a good selection for Green Bay if you want to help Aaron Rodgers out that you just gave a big contract to. But we can go into the 29th pick. X, you're gonna make the first selection of your favorite team's first round.
I actually will not be selecting for the Kansas City Chiefs. Actually,
are you trading?
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
And like screw these guys, I ain't giving them any.
Is it a second round team?
Yeah, but does Washington have a second round pick? Please tell me they do. I feel
like they do.
Washington, man, from like the mid second round.
The 47.
Okay. I know they don't have a third round pick, but whatever. In this reality, they find some way to trade with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Wow.
Maybe next year, second or something like that type deal.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued.
I know. I feel like this would be a Devontae Wyatt move, but go ahead, man. Who you going with the Washington Commanders?
I don't know if it is.
Give me one sec. Let me update the mock that I have on my computer screen to the one that you have. So Kyrie Elam, and then the Packers had picked Tyler Smith.
Yeah.
And I know you guys are just as intrigued as I am.
I think that's what happened.
So I really don't know how this player fell this far. I've realized none of us have taken him yet, and I just think it's a perfect scheme fit for what the Washington Commanders actually do with Ron Rivera's defense. And so I would like to select Daxton Hill for the Washington Commanders.
That's a solid pick, and then I was going to use him. I was going to use him for Cincinnati.
Fascinating pick.
That was going to be my Cincinnati Bengals pick.
Yeah, I would predict, honestly, he would go a lot higher than that. I prefer Daxton Hill over Kyle Hamilton, interestingly enough. Obviously, they're different scheme fits for different defenses. Obviously, Kyle Hamilton, he's more of like the strong safety type that can still cover and he can match up with tight ends, and he plays really solid run defense. But I do like Daxton Hill from more of a coverage standpoint, and also more just for the defense that Ron Rivera does run. So I guess that's my kind of like sneak pick of the draft. You know what I'm saying? Something that you don't really see happening, but it definitely could.
Okay. Well, not a bad move. That could be possible.
And
Never know.
it also leapfrogs the Chiefs. So
Yeah.
oh wait, they traded with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Man,
I thought you were just joking with that, but
fucking dumbass.
No, that's why I
Alright.
had to see. Like
I thought you were
realistically, the
joking with
Chiefs would probably pick whoever they pick with their first pick, and then trade down the second pick. But since I was at the Chiefs pick, I was just like, you know what, we'll trade this one because I want to make this pick.
Okay.
So now we
Wow.
got the Kansas City Chiefs back on the clock, and Jake, did they go Devontae Wyatt? Who you got him going?
How did the league let this player fall to the Kansas City Chiefs? Yeah. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm running for the podium with this pick,
And who is that?
and I'm a huge fan of this player.
Okay.
Initially I underestimated him, but the more I watched him, the more I liked him,
I'm scared.
and I like him a lot.
I'm scared.
And it doesn't seem like they're going to be missing that much speed because they're going to be on the clock for maybe 30 seconds, and then they're going to submit their card in for Christian freaking Watson.
Oh boy.
I
Good
love
pick.
this pick.
Good pick.
But unlike Tyreek Hill, he's got the size. So, you want to question the competition, and I get that. That's fine. But when I I close my eyes and I envision it in my head, I try to envision him playing in the NFL, playing against these pro players, and I see the speed and the skills translating. You can question the competition with some other guys if you don't think they're maybe as talented as people are saying, but I don't think you can question the talent of Christian Watson. I like this pick a lot, and I was gonna debate Jackson Hill if he was there, but Watson's my guy at number 30, and I hope they get him in real life too. Either them or Green Bay. I'm hoping one of those two teams snags him.
Damn. I'm just looking around before I make any choices with my 31st overall pick.
Damn,
I
did not
feel like
think
this can
about
be.
Okay,
That's a good pick, man.
Wyatt.
I know
wait.
that's. I'm trying to think of who could trade up for Devontae Wyatt. Or So I don't think Cincinnati will choose him.
The Lions don't need him. They took 2 defensive tackles.
I'm
last
looking
year.
at the Jacksonville don't need him. Atlanta could use him, but I feel like they're gonna need a receiver, so I don't feel like they'll trade up to get Devontae Wyatt.
Why can't Devontae Wyatt just be our guy that falls? Because
I know he could.
a lot of times, players that you don't see falling at all, end up just falling out of the first round due to different teams liking different guys. So.
True. I'm gonna keep Bengals where they are. I feel like they could still improve their O line. Ted Karras is a veteran, but you got Tyler Linderbaum staring at me right there. I feel like they can go younger. I don't feel like Ted Karras is a major upgrade on their offensive line. So I feel like bringing in Tyler Linderbaum will help Joe Burrow and be their future center for years to come.
I was really hoping you'd make that pick, and also Ted Karras, doesn't he have experience playing like other alignment positions? I don't think he just played center. No?
Yeah, he can play guard, I believe, too. So I'm sure they can move him around. He
See,
can be
now that's what I was gonna say.
he can be a piece that moves around if injury, and then you go with Tyler Linderbaum at starting center.
I was gonna say currently they're projected to start Jackson Carman at guard, I believe, and I don't really see how you could feel like extremely comfortable with that. So if say you take Linderbaum, you put him at center, then you can move Karras over to guard.
Yeah.
Suddenly, that the line looks even better, not just because you drafted Linderbaum, but because Linderbaum allows you to move Ted Karras to the other side. So
and also my thought on that also is I kind of wanted to trade back because I feel like they can get Linderbaum if they trade back in the second, like the beginning of the second round, and someone trades up if it's for Devontae Wyatt or Nakobe Dean or a receiver, who knows, but. I feel like that could be an option too and get draft capital for Cincinnati, but I can't think of a team that would trade up in this situation. But in real life, I feel like that could happen.
Yeah.
But But yeah, we go into the last pick of the first round, which is the Detroit Lions' second pick. You know, they had number 2 and number 32. Got this from the Los Angeles Rams with the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford trade. So, yeah, who you rolling with? X? No, yeah, it's X.
Yeah, so I know 32. The pick 32 of the draft is always a surprise pick. And I thought about quarterback here, but I think Detroit, they're a patient team. They're not in any rush to start competing, even though that is the end goal, obviously.
Yeah, I feel like if they're gonna go for quarterback, if Jared Goff stinks, it'll be next year's class.
I definitely considered David Ojabo at this pick, but they had already picked Trayvon Walker, who is also a developmental, pick at edge, and I think David Ojabo would be the perfect fit if they don't get Trayvon Walker, which can easily happen. And I thought about that too, but I think I'm just gonna George Pickens.
George Pickens, okay.
They could use another receiver.
Yeah.
I was thinking Nakobe Dean because their linebackers aren't that great, but you can go George Pickens too.
Say George Pickens hits and he becomes, the receiver he has the potential to be. Suddenly that receiving core is average at least. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, it was abysmal, but they signed DJ Chark. You have your slot guy in Amon-Ra St. Brown. So George Pickens, he's a high upside receiver, and he could easily become a number 1 guy.
Coming off injury, but he's talented.
That's the big if. He has all the talent in the world, though. So it's an out there pick, but it's one that can happen.
Yeah, not a bad selection, but yeah, I can go over the first round. We'll go over the first round again for you guys. So pretty much first overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars selected edge Aiden Hutchinson. The second overall pick, the Detroit Lions selected edge rusher Trayvon Walker. The third overall pick, the Houston Texans selected offensive tackle Ikem Ekwonu. The fourth overall pick, we got another edge in Kayvon Thibodeau. The fifth overall pick, the New York Giants selected offensive tackle Evan Neal. We had our first trade, which was with the Houston Texans trading up with the Carolina Panthers to select cornerback Ahmad Gardner. The seventh overall pick, the second Giants pick, was Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback at LSU. And then I wouldn't say it's kind of a surprise, but the eighth overall pick, the Falcons select quarterback Malik Willis is possible. So I didn't see it coming though, X, but it can happen. The ninth overall pick, the Seattle Seahawks stay put and select edge rusher Jermaine Johnson the second. And then we had our second trade, which it's not Trent McDuffie. PFF just wants to be dumb, but we had Deebo Samuel getting traded to the New York Jets, and then in return they get this 10th overall pick, and then whatever else you can imagine. The 49ers, I selected for the 49ers was wide receiver Jameson Williams, but it looks obviously wrong on this graphic, but it is what it is. The 11th overall pick, the Washington football team selects wide receiver Drake London. The 12th overall pick, the Philadelphia Eagles trade up with the Minnesota Vikings to select safety Kyle Hamilton. With the 13th overall pick, which was originally Cleveland's, that was traded to Houston, that was traded to the Panthers, it was now traded to the Chargers. The Chargers trade up to select tackle Charles Cross. And then with the 14th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Trent McDuffie, not Jameson Williams, but with the graphic we had to flip-flop the names. With the 15th overall pick, Jake selected edge George Karlaftis to the Minnesota Vikings. And how do you say his name, Jake?
Yorgos
Karlaftis.
Yorgos
Karlaftis is now a Viking.
Such a bad
Now with the 16th overall pick, Garrett Wilson falls to New Orleans Saints, which is great value. With the 17th overall pick, the Panthers trade back twice and end up getting Matt Corral over Kenny Pickett, which might be I'd say one of the biggest surprises if that actually happens. And then because you got another surprise right here, Kenny Pickett going 18th, swapping again with the Philadelphia Eagles. They're getting Kenny Pickett. And then the 19th overall pick, the Eagles are going linebacker Devin Lloyd.
Get bodied.
And then with the 20th overall pick, I know Jake's happy because it's not Kenny Pickett because he plotted that out pretty well. So it's ending up being Jordan Davis. With the 21st overall pick, offensive tackle Trevor Penning is going to New England. The 22nd overall pick, that was from the Devontae Adams trade. The Packers are going with the new Devontae Adams replacement, which is Treylon Burks. With the 23rd overall pick, the Arizona Cardinals is going Zion Johnson. We got another back-to-back guards because we got Kenyon Green going 24th to the Dallas Cowboys. 25th overall pick, Buffalo Bills select cornerback Andrew Booth Jr. With the 26th overall pick, Tennessee's beefing up the receiving core, getting Chris Olave. And then with the 27th overall pick, the Buccaneers are getting Kyrie Elam, cornerback out of Florida. 28th overall pick, Green Bay Packers is getting offensive tackle Tyler Smith. With the 29th overall pick, we got a surprise trade. The Washington Commanders are trading back into the first round with the Kansas City Chiefs, so they can select cornerback Daxton Hill out of Michigan. He can also play safety. With the 30th overall pick, you got wide receiver Christian Watson out of North Dakota State, Tyreek Hill replacement? Question mark. 31st overall pick, the Cincinnati Bengals are going with center Tyler Linderbaum, who I think they could possibly trade back and still get him, but I can't think of anybody to trade with him, so I selected him there. And then the 32nd overall pick, they go with wide receiver George Pickens, and that's our Daily Football Zone mock draft of 2022. It's been a long time we were able to get on here. I appreciate y'all for making this time, though. It was a good one, a long one too. We got pretty descriptive, had some fun with this. I appreciate you guys. Is there anything you guys want to say before we head out, though?
Thank you for having us, Caleb.
Always, man. Yeah, man. It was a good mock draft. It was a good mock draft. It was pretty entertaining. Who knows? I'd laugh if this actually became 100% accurate. Obviously, it's not. But if it did, I'd be going crazy just for how realistic. If we even get half, if not even half, we get 10 of these right, man, I'd be stoked. 10 of
Watch
these
the Jaguars select Trayvon Walker.
Right, it starts off wrong.
I think if I get that Saints Eagles pick right, like if I get that swap and pick right, that's all I need. I can get everything else wrong.
No, you need to go to Vegas on Friday and start placing some bets, man. For day two of the draft, man, you better just head to Vegas, man, and start making some bets if you get that right. You better start making some bets, man, because that'd be kind of crazy if that actually did happen. That's kind of funny.
Looks like California doesn't allow sports betting, so screw you, Cali.
If you're going to Nevada. Tomorrow we got the actual NFL draft happening. Sadly, I'm assuming none of us are going to be there, even though we're a 5-hour drive away. But it is what it is. Hey, next year we're going aim for KC though. We're going to eat some Kansas City barbecue, and we're going to dap it up with Andy Reid. I know you'd love to wear your Devontae Adams jersey out there in Kansas City X. So we all go, and then I know you'd love to wear your Kenny Pickett jersey, Jake. So we'll plan for that, man. We setting goals. We'll be there. And we'll see what happens.
Before we go, just to be clear, I'm rooting for everybody in this. I'm rooting for everybody ever. There's nothing ever personal with any of these guys. I'm just like, in a weaker quarterback class, why be cautious? Just go with the upside. Why be safe? Like, we went with a slow 23-year-old running back last year. No offense. Now we're gonna go with a 23, 24-year-old quarterback who is just flatline. Like there's no big ups, there's no big downs. Just
again, Derek Carr.
Like,
but I'll be respectful. I'll be respectful and say Derek Carr's
better. Stop, you guys. This isn't how you win Super Bowls. You guys go with the first round traits, okay? Go with if Willis isn't there, go Corral or
Kenny Pickett is
somebody else.
If you want Aiden Hutchinson to be a local kid and play for Detroit, Kenny Pickett's gonna be playing in Pittsburgh. And you know what? If that happens, book it now. Aiden Hutchinson staying in Michigan, Kenny Pickett staying in Pittsburgh.
Nah, Matt Rule's gonna be.
That's gonna be the headlines. That's gonna be the headlines. That's gonna be the headlines. I'll give you two bold predictions. The headlines are gonna be that local kids, those two local guys, at least them two are gonna be staying nearby. Maybe you could throw in another player. I'm not thinking of who. I'm thinking of those two players, Hutchinson and then Pickett. And then my second bold prediction is Kobe Bryant's going back. Rest in peace, the legend Kobe Bryant. But Kobe Bryant's going back to LA to play for the Rams when they select him with the 104th, I think it is. Whatever 100th pick it is. Kobe Bryant's going to be in LA. That was my bold prediction. Which they do need a cornerback. And if Kobe Bryant's there, I'm sure they're going to go with Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
That was my some bold predictions. Y'all got any bold predictions? Now that I thought of it, I'll let you start. X, do you have any bold predictions for the draft? If it could be tomorrow, it could be the whole draft. What are a bold prediction or bold predictions that you got?
Kenny Pickett will go a lot higher than any of you guys think. And actually, my bold prediction, and I'm not even sure if this is really bold, but I think the Panthers will select him at 6.
I don't think it's bold, but you're hurting my feelings right now. Come on, I'll be happy if we trade back.
It's my prediction, not my bold prediction, but my prediction.
Yeah, I predict that too, but I'm hoping that we can trade back at least once, hopefully twice, so we can get some draft capital that we lost. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Kenny Pickett, man, at this point. But what's yours, Jake?
Mine is, I think Bernard Raymond could sneak into the first round.
Possibly.
And
They have the health concerns. Him and Evan Neal, I guess, have been having health concerns recently that supposedly teams are taking him off their draft board, but that's all rumor.
There was
I
some
can
rumors about
see-
the Jets moving on from Mekhi Becton, actually, that I saw.
yeah,
Because he got hurt and he had weight concerns, and he got hurt week 1 against the Panthers, and he was out for the year. And the weight issues was a concern, so possibly that could be a move for the Jets as well. That would be surprising. But you think Raymond's gonna go in the first?
I think he could. I think the
possible.
Saints have a chance of taking him.
Yeah, possibly. That's your bold prediction, though.
Yep.
Okay, we'll see what happens. We'll come back to this video. I'm sure we're gonna have a draft recap if it's after day 1 or if it's after the whole thing. We'll talk through that. We can do some draft grades eventually as well. Looking forward to that. Again, thank you everyone that's gonna tune into this video. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about all these crazy trades that we made and selections. Subscribe to the channel, share it. It's always good to share because that gets the video spreaded. We appreciate the love and. I hope y'all have a great draft. We'll keep in touch. Obviously we're gonna talk about the draft together, but hope you guys have a great night and see you on the next video.
Have a great night, you guys. Hey,
See you.
all the prospects out there, have a great night. I'm rooting for all of you guys.
Yeah, man.
And good luck.
All right, y'all.